Welcome to Empowering Women, Changing the World, the WINGOs story. This episode will look at how women's international non-governmental organizations, or WINGOs, are making a difference around the world in gender equality and women's political empowerment. From spreading the progressive values to breaking down legal barriers to women's power, WINGOs are remaking the world. Let's get down to the basics. What are WINGOs? WINGOs, Women's International Non-Governmental Organizations, represent influential transnational networks that work towards securing gender equality and empowering women. They can be defined as networks that spread across continents and countries. They would provide channels through which ideas, policies, and movements pertaining to women's rights, representations, and leadership could circulate. What is remarkable about WINGOs is the ability to combine voices worldwide, therefore creating a strong body that can't be ignored by governments. WINGOs come out to be an important instrument of change through mechanisms like educational programs, international conferences, and local action. Without these people, many ideas promoting gender equality would exist in isolation. They are more than just contributors to the global women's movement, they are change facilitators. WINGOs are more than just activists, they are change engineers. They do not stop at raising awareness, they design solutions. By working across national borders, WINGOs can shape policies that advance women's leadership and improve political participation. For example, they would encourage governments to adopt international norms like gender quotas, anti-discrimination legislation, and laws in favor of women's rights. Where progress feels slow, WINGOs provide a way forward. Think working with local women leaders to help them amplify their voices in national conversations and making available to the public the toolkits and resources they produce on the way in which gender-inclusive policies are beneficial to democracies. Imagine this: one WINGO initiative on gender quotas inspires reform in several countries. That's how WINGOs build bridges, not just between countries but also between ideas and action. What is women's political empowerment? It's not a question of bringing women into politics. It's a matter of giving them the tools, influence, and power to lead. Political empowerment is the creation of political spaces where women can affect real decisions, shape policy, and challenge systemic inequalities. WINGOs help secure equal chances for women to move into leadership positions with resources such as leadership training and support networks. Imagine, the number of female lawmakers in a nation is 40%. There is improvement. When those women don't have any power, though, where is the advancement? For women to experience true empowerment, it is necessary to do more than just increase their numerical representation. It must also entail dismantling cultural and institutional obstacles to equal representation and action. Therefore, we need to examine the concept of emancipative values as one of the positive cultural accelerators for empowerment. Those are values like freedom, equality, and self-expression that are basics of progress in society. Societies embracing such emancipative values create an enabling environment where women can be politically successful. Why? Those values inculcate a sense of belief in the worthiness of every person to take part and lead, regardless of gender. When societies encourage freedom and equality among individuals, women acquire confidence to enter politics, demand rights, and challenge inequality. Countries that emphasize self-expression give women the courage to speak out, protest, and seek leadership. WINGOs are the champions in promoting of these values, nurturing global dialogues and empowering women to effect change within their communities. Want to find out more about WINGOs? Nobody is better than WINGOs at lobbying skills, collaboration and, when needed, strategic public pressure. The primary purpose of WINGOs is to advocate for policies that will empower women and bring attention to the issue of gender inequality. They can increase their impact on government bodies by collaboration with other non-governmental organizations, community groups, and governments. Also, through reports, media campaigns, and grassroots mobilization, WINGOs can hold governments to their pledges, promoting public accountability. For instance, a WINGO might spotlight a country's lack of women leaders, creating public pressure that forces reforms through. Gender quotas is one of the most effective tools for increasing women's visibility in politics. Equipped with these tools, the WINGOs can turn challenges into opportunities in their march toward gender equality. Consequently, women are assured representation in positions of authority. Be it through gender-balanced electoral lists or designated seats within legislative bodies, quotas facilitate expedited progress. However, quotas aren't just about fairness, they're about acknowledgement of women's perspectives in shaping laws and policies. For example, countries like Rwanda have used quotas to achieve record levels of women in parliament, leading to laws that prioritize women's health and safety. The WINGOs in this respect play a vital role by supporting such policies and helping countries in the successful execution of the same. In spite of their achievements, WINGOs encounter significant obstacles. Some government officials oppose gender equality policies because they worry about losing power. Culturally entrenched traditional values can frequently impede development. Furthermore, the majority of WINGOs operate on tight budgets. But now we get to the motivating part. WINGOs keep going. They discover new approaches to drive change, overcoming these challenges. Whether it's a new law or a leadership program, even a minor win can launch a chain reaction that eventually bears fruit. How can one put empowerment into practice? Women in non-governmental organizations amplify local battles into global movements, from grassroots protests to women running national governments. Take the case of women's rights protests in one nation that spark parallel movements in another. WINGOs drew these lines to demonstrate that women's voices matter and that they can achieve greater outcomes when they unite. WINGOs help women move beyond the legal, political, and cultural barriers and take up leadership with training, funding, and policy platforms. The legacy of WINGOs is enduring. Of all the wins, these are the most memorable. More women in parliament. WINGO member countries tend to have a higher percentage of female lawmakers. Advocating legislative change. WINGOs advocating for legislation to protect women against sexism and domestic violence. Attitude change. WINGOs, through lobbying and education, encourage the concept of a woman as an equal leader in society. They demonstrate that countries prosper under female leadership, and the effects of such leadership extend significantly beyond the confines of national borders. The fight for equal rights between men and women is far from over. All around the world, WINGOs are adapting to a changing world. Their mission in all aspects of life continues to be the empowerment of women, and they will keep on fighting in every respect for emancipatory principles and policies. But we must support them. By creating awareness and supporting, we can empower WINGOs to keep doing the brave work of ending gender inequality and making a better world for all women around the globe. I want to express my most sincere gratitude for your engagement with the story of WINGOs, a global movement for women's empowerment. Check out other episodes on women's organizations and empowerment. Learn how the women's organizations are impacting global change while supporting other like-minded initiatives and spreading their stories. Together, we have the power to make a difference, one voice at a time. See you in the next episode.